Hey guys, how you doing today? This is day 3, I think, day 4. What day is it today? Wednesday, day 3 of the short ladder attacks on the market against GME, against the Wall Street Bets crew. The story is, as the story has been, it is that these guys need to hold. They need to buy and they need to hold. Wall Street is acting as though there's no story here. The story is over, right? And their corporate propaganda, boy, does it ever work. I've spoken to a bunch of my friends, the people around me, all this, and what they're doing is towing the corporate line. No, the story's over. Wall Street sold its short, it resolved its short position. It's all completed, right? What we're seeing is just a correction of the market and market forces, right? Corporate propaganda works, you guys. It works. I've witnessed it firsthand. I've seen it firsthand. This particular issue, if you've talked to anybody and they're telling you, oh no, the short has been resolved, all that kind of stuff, corporate propaganda works, and you can say that to them from now on. Anytime they start falling for corporate propaganda again, you get to say to them, Wall Street Bets, right? Because here's a time where this snapback's gonna go to the moon, guys. I'm convinced of it. The major reason, the thing that I keep thinking about, that I keep pinging back on over and over and over again, because the truth is that there is a gamble going on here, and that gamble is that these hedge funds like Melvin and Citadel have got themselves into a short squeeze position, right? Which means they have bet more shorts than they have liquidity to actually cover. That's the position that these Wall Street Bets guys are banking on. And if that's not the case, then the story's over, right? Then the stock kind of settles back to what people actually think it's worth. And these guys on Wall Street Bets are going to take losses and all of this kind of stuff. And the story will simply be, yeah, we took a swing at Wall Street, and let's be clear on one thing. This is still a massive generational story for one specific and clear reason. A bunch of internet nerds got together and were able to collectively alter the stock on the stock market for their benefit. If these guys had sold when the stock price was at 400, a lot of them would have made a lot of money. But they held out. A lot of these guys are holdouts. They're sitting on their money, they're sitting on it so that they can do this short squeeze, and they're betting on the idea that the short squeeze is happening. And if you ask me, these places are in a short squeeze situation for one reason and one reason alone. They have spent money attempting to scare people away from this stock. Think about that for a second, okay? If there's no short squeeze going on, if the hedge funds are not threatened, if they are not in this position, why spend the money? Why take the time? Why put in the effort? Why put in the dollars? If the whole thing is just kaputski anyway. If they're like, oh yeah, we resolved that position, we're gonna move on. Well then why short the stock? Why do a short ladder attack? Why do any of this kind of stuff, right? And this is what has got these guys on Wall Street Bets whipped up into a frenzy and doubling down on their position. So currently the stock opened today at $90, went up to about $105, closed back down at $90. And these Wall Street Bets guys, no movement. They're not selling. Diamond hands, so they say. Diamond hands, right? Their leader, their de facto leader, who I don't think sees himself as a leader, but he certainly is the guy who saw this situation first. He's the guy that all of these Wall Street Bets guys refer to. His name is Keith Gill. His handle is Deep Effing Value. I think I'll just refer to him as Deep Value. I think the rest of the community the rest of the media is doing that as well. Deep Value. He just released a tweet saying that and with his portfolio too, he took a shot of the loss that he has taken so far, and he said he's not selling, he is holding. And the reality is that if Keith Gill does not sell, if Deep Value does not sell, these guys are not going to sell, right? These guys have pushed all in. Some of them have millions of dollars on the line. Some of these guys have hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars on the line. They've taken huge, huge losses on their portfolio, right? Remember, these are not real losses. They're not real losses until you sell. And all of these guys are dead convinced and are hyping each other up and are just buckling down and hunkering down, crossing those fingers, praying to whatever God they believe in, that this thing slingshots upwards, and it slingshots upwards in a big, big way. So when you see movement, the short ladder attacks, like, why would Wall Street do a short ladder attack this morning, which they did, right? And interestingly, the short ladder ladder attack didn't seem to have that big a effect on the price, right? The short ladder attack happened right away when the market opened, and the value of the stock went up, right? It went up to 105. And this is because, if you ask me, that this stock is being bought. 3 stocks are being bought for every 1 that's being sold, right? So there's a 3-to-1 ratio where the stock is being bought more than it's being sold. And if the stock is being bought, that drives the price of the value of the stock up. And also, I think that this doesn't get a lot of talk, this doesn't get a lot of traction, but remember that whole Robinhood fiasco, right? Remember that Robinhood had to shut down training. Remember that that's the app they're all using. And so a bunch of these guys are going, oh crap, I want to keep buying this share. I want to keep buying this stock. I want to keep getting shares in GME. I have to open up a new investment portfolio with a new app. Well, guess what, you guys? That takes 3 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So they're not going to be able to actually buy more stock outside of apps like Robinhood or the app that they were involved in until tomorrow. And still, even still, we're seeing this stock get bought up at 3-to-1. Because these guys are dead convinced, and I am dead convinced, that there is going to be a slingshot to the moon. That this thing is going to go like it went down, down because of short share attacks, because of Wall Street manipulation, because if we can manipulate the market, so can they. Dropping the price, and now it's settled at about $90. Bumps up to 100, back down to 90, right? It's settled right in that thing because Wall Street is trying to hold it there to spook everybody into selling, right? But now the Wall Street bets guys are dead convinced that the paper hands have gone and all that's left are the diamond hands. The people that are going to hold on for dear life. And and if you ask me, not if you ask me, if you ask anybody in the financial industry, the longer this situation goes on, the worse it gets for the hedge funds, because more people are going to buy more shares, more people are going to pile on, more people are going to make this issue a lot worse for the hedge funds, more people are going to put their money against the hedge funds, and the hedge funds, when this thing pops off, the longer they wait, the worse it gets. And if it doesn't pop off by the end of the week, then a lot of these guys are going to be able to open up new apps. A lot of these guys are going to have new investment portfolios. A lot of these guys are going to be buying a lot more of that share. And guys, here's the thing. Here's what's interesting about this story to me now. Like, we're waiting for a spike in the share price, right? We're waiting. That's what the story is going to be, and that's what's going to make international headlines when it happens, if you ask me. But the reality is that, like, GameSpot has used this opportunity to reestablish themselves in their own marketplace, right? They understand that the reason why their stock was down in the first place, and the reason why these hedges were betting against them, was because they didn't really have an online presence, and they didn't have an e-commerce, let's say, right? That they were Blockbuster trying to sell while Netflix was around. So now they've taken this opportunity with the influx of capital that they've gotten from this whole situation, and they've hired a whole bunch of new people. They've put new people in charge as CFOs and CEOs in these sorts of positions, and they are transitioning their business model into e-commerce, right? So And guess what? That's going to be valuable. So if you're looking at this stock, it's $90 right now, right? This stock is $90 right now, and Wall Street aims to make it lower before they can't maintain that anymore because they have to pay interest on these things. They are the ones that are in the position where they're losing the money. The longer this goes on, the worse it gets for the hedge funds, right? They need to resolve this. And if they are in a short squeeze situation, which they are, or else why are they fighting, right? The sooner they resolve it, the better it will be for them. But they want everyone to believe, and they want to spook everyone, and they want to scare everyone for as long as possible to convince them that, nope, this stock is dead, you can all move on from it, right? Just sell, take whatever loss you've got, and move on. They're not moving on, dude. It's diamond hands. It's diamond hands to the rocket to the moon, man. And for every one person that Wall Street is tricking into selling their stock right now, there's 3 buying, right? And there's only going to be more, and only more people are going to pile on, and it's only going to get bigger, and it's only going to get worse for these hedge funds, and they're going to see that, and they're going to see that soon. So I don't want to make, like, the only prediction I'm willing to make is that there is going to be some spike up in price. It's going to spike up. That's the prediction I'm willing to make. I don't know about a timeline, right? I do think that I'm seeing a lot of the guys who know more about this than me say that Friday is the day. That Friday is, if something doesn't happen on Friday, then people are really, really going to get worried. But saying that out loud means that the hedge funds know, right? And if the hedge funds know, then, well, yeah, they're going to try and get people to stew through the weekend, right? That's really what it is. They're trying to get people to stew through the weekend, if you ask me. And you shouldn't fall for it. You shouldn't fall for it. If these guys are not in a short squeeze situation, why are they fighting, right? They have nothing to gain to fight if they are not in this short squeeze situation. And they are fighting, and it's obvious that they're fighting. You can see them fighting, right? And they're obviously lying, and they're continuously spreading lies, and they're continuously manipulating media forces in order to try and convince people that, nope, there's no story here, when this is the story of the generation. Oh my goodness. So to pull the camera out a little bit more, to get a little bit more meta, you have, I believe her name is Janet Yellen, right? Secretary of the Treasury. She has received almost $1 million in bribes from Citadel. She's the one who's heading up the task force to seek regulation into this situation, right? So we know what that means, right? That the Secretary of the Treasury, appointed by Joe Biden, right, Democrat all the way, has been bribed in order to change the laws in order to prevent such a situation like this from happening again. And we know that's absolutely the truth, right? America is not a capitalist society. It is at best an oligarchy. I call it a neo-feudal structure. It's clearly a neo-feudal structure. We are serfs. We work for big, massive corporations that might as well be kingdoms, right? The whole structure is geared to be a neo-feudal society. And they're very interested in maintaining that. And they are not going to allow small groups of internet nerds to disrupt that with any kind of what they will eventually call financial terrorism. It will eventually come to that. You mark my words. And so we've reached almost the end of this video, you guys. Oh my goodness, yeah, we're almost done here. I didn't even get to talk about communism in the midst of this one. Totally fine, I don't have to talk about it every single time. Like, share, subscribe, like button right there. Totally free to do. Please, please, please share that thing over to your friends and family. Share it around, so especially so that you can say I told you so when this thing spikes up. If you haven't subscribed at this point, subscribe. You don't have a communist in your feed. Hi, I'm the communist in your feed. I don't care if you agree with me, but you don't have this perspective. I guarantee it, so get it in your feed. Oh yeah, hey, a bunch of you are about to make a whole bunch of money, right? Aren't a bunch of you, but you got to make a whole bunch of money. How about you go into my description below, throw $1 my way, man. Just $1, just $1. It's all I need. It's just a cup, like that's less than a cup of coffee. Just toss $1 my way. Really helps me out, and hey, makes me feel good about myself. Why not? Okay, guys, I love you all. Good luck. Hold, hold, hold. Buy GME. Diamond hands. To the moon. Good luck. We're going to need it.